Hey everyone, good afternoon and welcome to Kidd Brewer Stadium as it is report day for the 2024 season. Welcome to our annual Media Day show. My name's Adam Witten, and over the next hour we'll be having conversations with a variety of players and coaches to get you set as we're 30 days away from kickoff at ETSU right here on August 31st. We're going to get things started out of the running back room. Anderson Castle, local guy, Watauga High School star, now in your 5th year with the program.
It's crazy.
Can you believe that?
I can't. I feel old. Finally feel old.
First of all, let's get this part taken care of. Show the folks the new uniforms, the stripes. Show them the stripes. Go ahead.
I'm sure everybody's seen it by now.
How you like them?
I like it. I like the switch up.
Yeah.
We switched to no stripes my freshman year, and so this is the first switch up. So yeah, I like the change for sure.
All right. How you feeling coming into this year's fall camp?
I'm excited. I mean, that's pretty much the only way I can describe it. I probably haven't been this excited to play football in my life. Just with the team that we have, how the summer's been, and yeah, that's all I can say is I'm excited.
Yeah, so last year during fall camp, you had an injury, missed a good chunk of the season. Let's at least go back to the latter stages of last year. How tough was that to go through what you did last season and eventually getting your way back to playing?
Yeah, I mean, it worked out really well for me. I'm very thankful, very blessed the way it worked out to be able to come back, play in the last 6 games. But yeah, I mean, I learned a lot throughout that time off, throughout my injury. Just tried to be the best teammate that I could, and it all worked out. And then in the bowl game, you got 20 carries, 119 yards. You had some critical carries as you were trying to possess the ball, run out the clock in that slosh of a football game against Miami. It's been a while, but because you had such an impact and because of how grueling I'm sure the rehab was and leading up to that, how much vindication did that give you in performing like that, the way that maybe you thought you were capable of doing all year in a big game at the end of the year? Yeah, it was rewarding. I'm not going to lie. It was rewarding for us as a team to go out that way. It was important to send out the seniors on a win. And it was rewarding for me as well, just not being able to play. Yeah, it was an experience I'll never forget for sure.
All right. So what have been some of the highlights of your off season? Anything fun?
There's one particular thing. I'm engaged.
Yes, so congratulations.
You could say that was a highlight for sure. Definitely a highlight. Got to go to Peru on a mission trip, which was a fun thing for me. So, but yeah, summer workouts have been fun. Everything's been good.
Have you ever been as nervous leading up to a football game or any sporting event really? Have you ever been as nervous at that as you were getting ready to get down on one knee and propose?
I don't think so. I did tell her I compared it to a game the whole day, like the way you felt leading up to it. Like,
did you have a pregame meal and everything? And
yeah, I didn't eat a lot of it though. But yeah, I compared it to that, which I guess is a good comparison because I love both. But yeah, no, I was probably a little more nervous for the proposal.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now, in terms of your outlook for this upcoming fall camp, tell the audience, what have you done to get yourself into the point where you just said you're more excited about this season than you've ever been going into a football season? Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great off season, just not for me personally, but for everyone as a team. I'm excited. My body feels good finally, just trying to get fully back healthy, which I think I've done. That's been my main goal this off season, just working on my mobility, always trying to get faster, trying to get more agile, which I think I've done. But yeah, I'm just excited. I feel good. I love this team, and so why not?
Yeah. All right, final question. What can you tell us in terms of what folks are going to see out of this running back room this year, the way that it's currently designed heading into fall camp?
I think what you're going to see is, when one guy comes out and the next comes in, there's not going to be any type of drop-off. There's not going to be we all bring different style to the game, and I think that's great. I think we'll be able to keep each other fresh because, I mean, our whole room's deep. It's full of guys that can run all over a defense, really. So we're going to be able to keep each other fresh, which is going to be nice. And I mean, no matter who's in there, they're going to do their job. And yeah, it's great to have.
Yeah, can't wait to see how it all plays out. Well, all the best in camp leading up to the season opener. I know you worked super hard to get here, so thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anderson Castle joining us. We're going to have him set the mic down right here. He's got more interviews to do with the rest of the assembled media here at Media Day at Kidd Brewer Stadium. We're going to switch over to the defensive side of the ball here and talk to Caden Sullivan. Is going to join us, linebacker from South Carolina. Come on in here, Caden. He's got the gold uniform today. Again, we asked Anderson to do this. Fresh new unis. What do you think? How's it fit?
Oh, I love them. It fits really good. Fits really tight.
Yeah.
So we should be looking good on game day.
Yeah, so we got the gold. We got the gold stripes with the black sleeves.
Oh, yeah. This one's actually
amazing.
a throwback because they're still getting my gold jersey, the last name put on mine. So I'm rocking the throwback jersey today.
It's because your arms wouldn't fit in the old jersey, would it?
Oh, no.
You're just busting through that thing.
Could be. Could be.
How much work have you done this offseason? I mean, I know the program that Matt Greenhall has put the team through has really gotten you guys ready for camp, but what can you tell us about some of the specifics about how you have gotten yourself ready for this upcoming season?
Yeah, something I had to do just for myself is incorporate more stretching and yoga into my routine, just because last year was a long season. I got really beat up, and just having to recover from that and wanting to go into camp feeling good. So that, and then also I always like to try to get more lifts in than we're required to. So just lifting on the weekends, lifting if we have an off day, making sure I'm always in the gym, that kind of thing. But biggest thing for me was yoga and trying to also incorporate a better diet this summer as well, just so I can feel better and participate better for like cardio and that kind of thing.
Yeah. What was the hardest part of the training program this summer? The one thing, or maybe there's more than one that you're just like, I'm dreading this today.
Right. It had to have been our conditioning sessions when we have like, they call it dominators, where we're running suicides on the field, and then every Friday morning we knew what was coming for us at 6 a.m. We had to run gassers up and down the field, and then it just seemed like the number got even bigger every single week. So probably waking up at 6 a.m. and doing that, but that's just something that just really helped us grow mentally, I feel like, and we crushed it every week, and Coach Matt had nothing but good things to say about that.
We're visiting with Caden Sullivan from the defense here on our Media Day show. All right, so you had 11 starts last year. You mentioned that you got a lot of work in this year. It was last year. It was a grueling season.
It was.
And you were right in the middle of that major defensive strategical change where you were playing outside, then you moved to inside with that star package. How would you describe where your role is, or what position you're filling, where you're hoping to be on the field this year as it relates to the defensive alignment going into fall camp? How would you put that into your own words?
Yes, this very similar to how we ended it last year at the will linebacker position, just hopefully being able to play it more confidently, more fast, that I've got more reps under my belt, and play it more physical. So yeah, just doing that and trying to hold down that middle linebacker position with Kyle and Rail at Mike, with 2 new Mike linebackers coming in, just building that chemistry with them as well, and just trying to make as many plays as possible.
Yeah, and then going back to the middle of last season where that change took hold, when did it click for you in terms of, okay, now I see it, now I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing? And because going outside to inside, that's a huge difference in terms of positions.
Yes. Yeah, like that Southern Miss game was my first game, and I didn't know how I'd perform at it. So obviously the confidence was low, and then I made that really big play that boosted my confidence, and that just kind of showed me that like I can play this position. And then later on in the season, I feel like when we played JMU and beat them, and I was starting felt so much more comfortable in the position, and I feel like JMU was the turning point when we won that game, and we knew that we had a lot more we can play for. After that, and then ever since then, I was acclimated to the new position, and we tried to win that Sun Belt Conference Championship last year, and hopefully I can help our defense lead it to it this year.
Where do you feel like the defense is better this year? I mean, a long way to go. We still got an entire fall camp to go, but in terms of what you see, in terms of in that room, in those meetings, during those workouts, where do you feel the defense can be better from what it was last year?
Yes. I feel like more guys are on the same page when it comes to the playbook this year. We've had a whole bunch of meetings, whole bunch of reps since January, and our coaches have done a phenomenal job of teaching it to us this spring and everything. So I think playbook-wise, we should be a step ahead than we were last year. And then we've added a lot more talent, just transfers and depth. I feel like I know at linebacker we have so much depth. I feel like all 4 of our will linebackers can go out there and make plays, honestly. So I feel like on the defense side of the ball, we have more depth than we did last year. And then more guys I feel like are just bought in. They see the vision, the Mission 24 that Coach always talks about. They see that vision, and everyone's kind of got their eyes set on the same type of reward at the end of the season.
Yeah, so last year was reset. That was the key word going at this point in time of last season. Can you explain mission? What does mission mean to this team? We're going to see it all over the place. Mission 24. What does that mean? Mission
really is just keeping your eye on the prize, I'd say, towards it at the end of the year. Like realizing all this work that we're putting in, that all the meetings we had this summer, all the gassers we ran this summer, all the hours we spent here, it's all for something bigger than ourselves, something big, something that we could change this program by doing, and that's like going to the playoffs, winning another championship, and just winning a ring, something no one can take away from us. So Coach Clark put that in our heads in January, and I just feel like there's not a lot of griping and complaining when it comes to how we're working each and every day, because everyone does know the mission. Everyone knows we are on a mission for this year, because we got so close last year. So we can kind of see it, we can kind of taste it now, and realize that it's something that is in arm's reach. We just got to go get it. Yeah, I can hear the confidence just exuding as you talk about the mission for this year. So all the best, my man. Yes, sir. Thanks for spending some time with us. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. All right, Caden Sullivan joining us on the program. We've heard from one offensive player. We've heard from one defensive player. Now we're going to start talking to some of the coaches, and we're going to kick things off with our offensive coordinator, Frank Ponce, jumping in here onto the hot seat. All right. How you doing, man?
Doing great. How about yourself?
It feels a little different. This is year 9 for you in Boone, with a little gap year in between, or some gap time in between. But you're back now, and you're into year 2 in this role as offensive coordinator. Anything different about the way you're approaching fall camp this year versus last year?
Not really. This is something that the system hasn't changed. Terminology has been the same, so feel real comfortable with it. And our guys are coaches here. We have the same coaches coming back from for the most part from last year, so it's been an easy transition. And the guys, our players, are veterans now. They understand that. Obviously, we got some new faces, but it's been fun. Nothing has changed. We are who we are, and we're going to do offensively what we're good at.
Yeah, and so last year everybody wanted to ask about quarterback, and there was no secret. It was a quarterback competition in fall camp last year. You've got an incumbent starter in Joey Aguilar, and he had a tremendous season a year ago. Tell us about what Joey in 2024 could be based on the work he's put in during the offseason.
Well, he's put in a lot of great work in the off season, in the film room, and just talking, understanding the concepts and watching film from last year, what he did, and the things that we're trying to do a little bit different this year, and some additions into our scheme. But Joey's been great. Joey's is obviously a good kid, and he's wonderful to be around, a good leader. And he's just understanding now the offense a lot better than he even did last year. So we're expecting a lot of great things from him in fall camp. It has to show, we talked about this already, it's got to show day one. And it's got to carry on from there, just getting better every single day. So we're excited about this fall camp, and we're excited about the competition that we're going to have there at that position again, and we had the addition of Billy Wiles, so we're really excited about that.
Yeah, let me ask you about Billy, because the assumption is that it's not a quarterback competition, but you're bringing in a guy in Billy Wiles who was also a starter last year. We saw him right here at Kid Brewer Stadium when he played for Southern Miss, and people like that, they don't transfer to programs to play backup, right? So he's fighting for the job as well, and those two are really going to push each other, I would think.
Absolutely, and those guys in the meeting room, you could tell they're taking notes or asking questions, and it just competition makes everyone better. And I think it's a healthy thing to have in the football team, and you got to have it, because the only way you're going to be a really good football team is being competitive within to be able to do it against our opponents. I think those guys are competing in the offseason competed extremely hard, and we're looking for a great competition here in the fall. And all these transfers that we've gotten in here at every position, those guys are coming to compete for jobs. And it's great because our guys cannot get comfortable. They cannot let the guards down. They got to continue to get better. The guys that have been here are veterans, so we're looking forward to it.
What are your priorities in terms of the offense and getting ready? Okay, tomorrow we're going to start practice. We're 30 days from kickoff. Say, this is what we have to get done. This is what we have to figure out in terms of our offense and our personnel, our scheme, whatever it may be between now and when we kick it off against ETSU.
I think the biggest thing, we always talk about this, is protecting the football, and it starts in practice, making the right decisions, starting at quarterback, and then our ball carriers protecting the ball. Our defense does a great job takeaways, so we have to be, again, it's a competition that is going to go on through fall, and I think our guys are going to get better at that. The second thing is we got to make sure that we get great at what we do. Regardless of what the defense or our opponents are, we're not worrying about that, right? We're worrying about what we can do to get better at our scheme. That's going to be the main focus, and I think our guys are dialed in on it.
Yeah. Do you change at all how you work with a player, because you're the quarterback's coach as well as the offensive coordinator, but with someone like Joey specifically, last year he's coming in and he's trying to prove himself. He's trying to win a job. This year he's coming in, he got accolades last year, preseason player of the year, and there might be a sense of, hey, now you have to live up to what people think of you. How do you approach that as a coach in terms of the way you might have coached him last year versus the way you prep him this year, or is there any difference?
I don't think there's a difference. I just approach it the same way. I think if you make a big deal about it, then it becomes a big deal, big problem. I think Joey's very grounded. He understands that this comes part of it. You deserve it. This is a success you had last year, but that's last year. This is a new year, and we're working towards new goals. So he understands that. I don't have to worry about that part of it. I think he's very mature and understands that what he did last year, again, it's last year, and we got to get better at certain things that we need to get better this year, and it starts with you at the quarterback.
Last question, and I'll get you out on this one, but quickly on the offensive line. We know there's a lot of we'll see some new faces on the offensive line, and Coach Clark mentioned in his press conference earlier that he challenged the guys because none of them got any preseason all Sun Belt recognition. And I understand preseason recognition doesn't matter all that much, but what can you tell us in terms of why you believe this offensive line can be really good this year?
Well, number one, our head coach is a former offensive line coach. That's his baby there, so he's always with those guys there. And Coach Cummings, our offensive line coach, does a fantastic job with those guys, educating them, teaching them the offensive line play. So it's never been a concern. I don't think it's ever going to be one here at App State. I mean, everything starts up front for us in the trenches with the offensive line. Those guys they've been working extremely hard this off season. The guys that just came in, they're studying film. They're spending a lot of time with their coach, just talking about schematically what we have to get better at, and so they can understand and go out there and compete. So we're excited. We're at 4 deep at offensive line right now, so we're excited about that.
That's a great thing to have.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. That's Frank Ponce, our offensive coordinator. Good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. Same
Enjoy
here.
Camp.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, we're going to shift back to player interviews now. We're going to bring in, my gosh, it looks like this guy's grown like 5 inches since the last time we saw him. Eli Wilson, tight end, joining us over here at the table. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You look great. How have you transformed things during the offseason?
Just try to get bigger and stronger and faster.
Have you actually grown 5 inches? Because you look like it.
No. It may just be the haircut. Fresh haircut
Could
today.
be, yeah. So how is the offseason? Where have you tried to get better? You said, okay, last year had a great season. I want to be even better the following year. Where have you looked to kind of transform your game, your physique? What's different about Eli Wilson going into 2024 training camp?
Just a little bit of everything. I want to be more. I wanted to learn to get more explosive, faster, and stronger. So Coach Matt does a great job with all 3 of those things. So just done that.
How much faster are you right now? Like who could you now beat in a race that you couldn't last year? Some of the wide receivers.
Yeah.
Any of the wideouts, you could beat them, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I got to tell you, man, I've played the EA Sports football game, and you're always open in that game. I'm just saying.
They got something right.
Have you played much of it?
I played a little bit of it. I'm not the greatest at it, but I enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay, so When I talked to Matt Greenall, we had him on a podcast earlier this summer, and I asked him, I said, hey, what's a position group that has jumped out in terms of they're blowing things away. They've been off the charts in terms of their performance with these workouts. And the first group he mentioned, it wasn't the only group, but it was the first group he mentioned was the tight ends. Mm-hmm. How do you evaluate the way you guys handled off-season workouts? Do you think you guys crushed it the way he was saying it?
I think we did. I mean, we have 4 guys that I know for a fact that are going to go in there and work out hard, fast, and do what they're told. I mean, me, David, Max, and Kanan, we're all hard workers, and that's the one thing I love about our room right now.
Yeah. How have you tried to embrace more of a leadership role as now you're a fifth-year senior right now.
Goes by fast.
It does, yeah. But do you feel like now it's your responsibility to take on more of a leadership role?
I mean, yes, I do. I have to bring along, like, Kanan and Max haven't played that much, but they are very talented people, so I feel like I have to tell them some of the tricks of the trade sometimes. But, I mean, it's just trying to be an encourager and just have a good time out there.
What was the hardest thing for you to learn as a young player that you've gotten better at this year and say, okay, hey, when I was a younger player, these were the things that were tough for me to grasp? What were some of those things?
Just the speed of the game, probably. Just, like, adjusting to how much faster everyone is out there, stronger, and just more knowledgeable about the game.
When you're going through workouts and you're trying to improve certain aspects of your game, you know, we know you caught a lot of balls last year. You caught 5 touchdowns last season, but the tight ends are so important when it comes to the running game and blocking. How do you balance that in terms of, I want to be faster, but at the same time, I got to keep up my strength, my size to be good on the line of scrimmage too? Is there a balancing act between those two?
There is, but I mean, with Coach Matt, like, he focuses on both at the same time, and I feel like I have experienced such development in that area, like with power cleans, with deadlifts, and everything we've done. I feel like I've gotten stronger and faster. Yeah. And like with blocking, it's so much about getting to the guy faster too, so speed kills in every aspect of the game.
I know there's a lot of things that you did with Coach Matt that you probably didn't look forward to, but what's something fun you did over the summer?
I really enjoyed the time we went bowling. We went bowling one afternoon. That was a great time. We had a home run derby.
How'd you do in that?
I hit a few home runs. I hit a few, but our team didn't win it. So
no. There were some ringers out there, from what I understand.
Yeah, Kyle Arnold had a few home runs that day.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to enjoy what Boone offers during the summer? Because there's no place better to be during the summer than up here in the high country.
I mean, like, I've gone home a few weekends and I get out of the car just instantly sweating. It's just awful. Like, here you can go on a 5-mile hike and you're like, all right, this feels great. Just keep going.
I feel like right now it's like, I don't even know if it's even 70 degrees right now, because we got cloudy, there's a little breeze. I mean, it is a beautiful day and a perfect summer day. So what do you enjoy doing up here if you're getting out in the outdoors much?
I mean, just I've enjoyed going on hikes. We love going to the river and stuff and just hanging out. I mean, it's just being outside here is a lot more enjoyable than where I'm from.
What are the objectives for someone like you when it comes to fall camp? Do you go into it saying, okay, I've got 30 days until the season starts and we're gonna have this many practices or whatever the case may be? Is there anything that you're saying to yourself, or you've got objectives in mind where it's, okay, these are the things I want to make sure that I get done before we kick the season off? Is there anything on a list like that?
Just to be in the best shape possible and the best mental state possible going into game one. Mm-hmm. Just also I want everyone on our team to be healthy. I mean, that's one of the biggest battles going through fall camp. So just make sure I'm in the recovery tubs and everyone else is too. Yeah. It's such a big battle.
It's a long season. You got to stay fresh.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you this year in year 5 with the program. Eli Wilson from the tight end group. Appreciate it, man.
Sure. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
You too.
All right, back to the coaching staff. We heard from our offensive coordinator, Frank Ponce. Now let's bring in Scott Sloan. What's up, man? How are you? Good to see you. This is, let's see, I know it's year 10 at App.
Correct.
What year is this for you in terms of, this is your blank training camp, fall camp?
33.
33rd fall camp. You still get the same energy, emotions when you come out here for day one?
Yes. I mean, it's always the excitement of being able to get back on the field and do what you love and what you've been blessed to do for a long, long time. I probably will get tired sooner in training camp. It won't take many practices, and I may be in the cold tub. And, things like that. But yeah, it's still, your juices still keep going.
You know, it's interesting. Eli Wilson was talking about some of the objectives for training camp, and for him, you know, it's a lot of it's stay healthy, stay fresh, take care of your body, recover. You know, don't wear yourself out where you're not ready for what the long season brings. How have things evolved over your years of coaching in terms of, you know, training camps used to be multiple practices per day and going hard, and not to say that you don't go hard during practice, but there's much more of an emphasis on, hey, we got to make sure that we're not just totally gassed by the time the season starts, right? Yeah,
I think so much is going into the exercise science and all the physiological type stuff that it's became smarter and not harder, you know, type deal. But we also get to train year round too, whether it's in the weight room, you know, you got spring practice, you got your spring OTAs, you got your summer OTAs, so forth and so forth, that, you know, generally you don't have to get them into shape. You know, your strength coach does a great job of that all summer. You don't have to, like, we even say, like, it's not day one install tomorrow at practice. It's really day one review of something that they've been doing all year long. It's not like they're hearing it for the very first time. So, you know, I told Coach Clark in these first 5 practices, we're probably putting in 5 brand new things that they've never heard of before, but the other 55 things is old hat. They've done it over and over and over. So it is about getting your guys to the opener game, having them as fresh as you can, but then also having their bodies prepared for, you know, a long season. It's gotten longer and longer with, you know, when I first started coaching, it was 10-game seasons. Then it went to 11. Then it went to 12. Now it's turned into conference championships. Then it's turned into bowl games. And now it's turned into college football playoffs. I mean, you know, seasons can be 15, 16, 17 weeks long now. So you have to prepare for that and not crush them, you know, during training camp.
Coach Ponch mentioned that, you know, the key is making sure that we're just good at what we do, right? You know, we have good strategies, we have good personnel. It's just making sure that we're great at the things that we all know what we're supposed to be doing.
Right.
So how would you describe, we had the shift last year with the star package and adding that position to the field, but do you identify or describe the base defense any differently this year? How would you put it into words?
Yeah, we're still a 3-4 defense, and we're gonna move. We'll slant. We'll angle. We can play single gap. We can, you know, put guys on big movements, or we can hammer gaps. You know, the biggest thing with the star was it just, as the game has evolved more and more, it put more speed on the field. We're playing with 5 DBs, but it's still a personnel game. As they get bigger, we got to get bigger. You know, people start bringing in 2 tight ends, an extra O lineman. They got 1 wide out. Well, we don't need, you know, 2 corners in the game. You need bigger guys up front. As they start bringing in 4 wide receivers and spreading the field out, then maybe you got to get 6 DBs on the field, not 5. So it's always the chess match of personnel, matching personnel offensively, so that at least your skill sets match, you know, what the offense is presenting.
What areas do you want to see the defense improve upon from last season?
Biggest thing that we're harped on, we got out of the season, we did self-studies and things like that, is just wasn't happy with, as, you know, fitting up the run as well as we needed to. I thought was really good against pass, was really good at taking the ball away, you know, led to conference in interceptions and turnovers. So those are things that we've got to continue to, as Ponce said, be good at what we're good at. But what the things we need to address, minimizing touchdowns in the red zone. You know, I have a saying, field goals don't beat you, right? You get in the red zone, you give up 3, that's a win, you know, but we did not do a good enough job of that last year. We let too many touchdowns in the end zone. So that'll be point of emphasis. We're doing a lot of red zone stuff. Coach Clark's got it mapped out, you know, for training camp. There'll be a lot of red zone emphasis. And then just tackling the ball, fitting the ball up in the run game better. And because there's times that we go back, we'd watch a game, and we did a great job, and then we let one pop for 45, and then let one pop for 60.
Right.
And so one of our goals this spring or this summer in training camp is to minimize and eliminate explosive plays. Make them go 3 and 4 the hard way. Don't get them 45 or 50 at a chunk.
Yeah, more times they have to snap the ball, more chances there are for big plays for the defense.
Correct.
So, all right, man. Well, year 33 of camp, 10th season at App. Scott Sloan, good to see you, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Good luck. That's Scott Sloan, our defensive coordinator. We'll stay on the defensive side of the ball as we jump back into player conversations and bring in a guy who's sporting a new number, but still just as good, even though he's got a little bit of a new look. Witten Johnson joining us. What's up, man? How are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Good. All right, so tell us, why the switch to number 2 this year?
I haven't got a chance to wear number 2 in probably 5 or 6 years, and my dad wore 2 here at App, so I definitely wanted to wear it. So
that's a great reason for the switch. So how are you feeling now coming into training camp?
I'm feeling good, optimistic, and just ready for the season. Yep.
Yeah. So, I was talking to Coach Sloan a little bit, and I asked him, what are the things that you want to see the guys improve upon from last year? And a lot of it is, continuing to take the ball away, which you guys did a great job of last year, but giving up explosive plays, trying to limit that. How did you guys eventually get better in that area last year, and what are the keys to making sure that you can keep everything in front of you when you get out there for game action?
I think the back end, just taking the ball away is important, but probably more important is limiting the explosives, like Coach Sloan said, and really starts with the corners to me. Limiting the explosives, just being very, very keen on our technique, things like that. Communicating with the safeties, being on the same page.
Yeah.
So definitely, first and foremost, want to limit explosives in the secondary. Yeah.
All right. So, how do you describe yourself as a corner? I've heard the phrase shutdown corner, ball hawk. What do you like to call yourself in terms of, if I'm at my peak and I'm playing my game at corner, what kind of corner are you?
I would definitely describe myself as shutdown more than ball hawk. That's just been my style of play. That's always been like that since I've been young. Go to the best guy and just pretty much don't even worry about it. That's how it's always been.
And nobody's calling your name because the ball's never coming your direction.
That's how it's always been my whole life. So I'd say it's that style.
Is that tough to negotiate sometimes, where it's like, if I'm doing my job, the ball's never coming to me, I'm never getting a chance to pick it off, people aren't necessarily talking about me, but I'm doing a great job, it's just quiet. Is that sometimes tough to deal with mentally, or you love it anyway?
I kind of love it. It's just kind of how it's always been. I'm not really I don't really like attention anyway, so I just like doing my job, and I just like doing my job.
What were some of your early memories of coming to games at App State?
I remember watching Armani Edwards. That was like the first player I remember, and I had his jersey. And it was just a lot of fun to watch him.
How old were you? Because you're going to make me feel old here in a second. That people that grew up as kids watching Armani Edwards.
I was 5 or 6.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was 5 or 6.
I think you just made a lot of people watching feel old, that you were 5 or 6 going watching Armani run circles around people. So tell us about some of the new guys, because there's a few transfers in that secondary of the defense. How well have those guys kind of gelled with the group so far, and what can you tell us about some of the new faces we'll get to know this year?
I think we definitely added some depth. One guy I want to mention is Miles Farmer. He's a great guy off the field, brings a lot of energy, but he's also a really good player, brings some size. He has a lot of experience, can play the ball, can stop the run. Brought in some corners. I think they'll all help us. Seth got a lot of experience. Eli is very athletic. Jason has a lot of experience, also athletic. So I think we upgraded in the corner room, to be honest. So
I've asked this question to corners in the past, and a lot of them feel as though pass breakups are missed opportunities. You had 1 interception and 11 pass breakups last year. How do you treat the stat of a pass breakup? Is that a missed opportunity, or are you cool with a PBU?
Well, it just depends. Like, I had some pass breakups that maybe 2 or 3 that I should have picked, but then there's some where it's like the pass breakup is the most in a situation. You might be beat and you want a pass breakup. So it really just depends on the situation. I'm more of a PBU guy, I say.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to improve the picks because those change games.
Yeah.
So
those numbers are going to come up this year, aren't they?
yeah, I'm trying to get that up. Yeah.
All right, Ethan Johnson, man. Good luck at camp this year. We'll see you out there on the field.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Ethan Johnson joining us. We're going to stay in the defensive secondary. Another guy sporting a new number this year. Jordan Favors coming up here. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good,
Good
man.
to
How
see
you
you.
doing?
All right, same question. Tell us about the switch to number 7. What's behind that?
A little new identity today. I switched to number 7 because I played with it along with 11 growing up, and I never just really had the chance to wear number 7 because it was always took by other players. So this year I kind of wanted to embrace it for like this year or maybe next year too as well.
Yeah.
And I just like number 7 as well.
Okay, so a new identity. Does that translate into maybe like a fresh start for you? How are you approaching this year now?
Yeah, kind of like a fresh start. Last year was kind of like me putting my foot in the door. I was getting a feel for the game, my first year starting. And this year I want to come out with, like this new identity, and I feel like this is a fresh start for me.
Yeah. So I just got done asking Ethan about his interceptions versus pass breakups. He had 11 PBUs, but only 1 pick.
Right.
Now, you had 4 picks last year. You got to give him some pointers. Hey, man, when that ball comes your way, this is how you actually, make sure that you get that INT versus just letting it slip through your fingers.
Yeah. So a lot of my PBUs were from dropped interceptions, so I can't be too much to talk myself. But EJ be so locked in man-to-man coverage, so maybe he just doesn't get the opportunity to see the ball. But overall, man, at least we're breaking up the ball, and I'm proud of EJ as well.
Okay, so here are some of these stats from last year for you. In all Sun Belt Conference performance last season, which of these numbers are you most proud of in terms of what you did last year? 4 interceptions, 8 pass breakups, 2.5 tackles for loss, and a block kick.
I like to throw that little block kick in there because, that's extremely rare sometimes. But probably my interceptions, I pride myself on my interceptions, even though I dropped a lot last season. I'm pretty proud of myself for my first year coming in and getting 4 interceptions. Yeah. And I expect to do a lot more this year.
You got to take one to the house this year, right?
I know, I got to. The one in Marshall game hurt me a lot last year.
I know. Who was it? You threw somebody. I think you threw Joey under the bus for not. Santana. You threw Santana under the bus for not throwing a block for you when you were trying to run that back.
Yeah, roughing the passer, right?
He was worried. He was worried about that.
Get out of here.
All right, tell us about how this secondary is going to be better this year. Not that y'all weren't good last year, because you guys, especially interceptions, you guys got a ton of picks last year. Right. But how are you guys going to be even better this year?
What makes us so good this year is depth. I couldn't brag enough about the corners coming on, even the freshmen. It's so much depth everywhere from safety to corner, and that's what makes good teams even better, having depth. And it's just so much competition. So whoever prevails at the starting position, I think they're going to be that guy for the season. And I just think it's a lot more chemistry this year, with a new DC, Scott Sloan, coming in. Coach Sloan, my bad. He's getting a feel for the coverages, and we still strive with his coverages. But this year, I feel like we got a lot of depth, and we're going to be good this year, man. Yeah.
Well, anything fun you did over the summer? Anything stand out? I know the stuff you did with Coach Greenhall wasn't fun, but
yeah. I'm real traditional, man. I went home, did a lot of fishing, real family oriented. So I just did a lot of stuff at home. Not too anything that just stood out, but
Yeah. You got any traditions or superstitions that you have when you start fall camp?
I like to get a note card, and I like to tape it on my locker for all the goals I want to achieve, starting at fall camp and then towards the season. And then I have a pregame song that I play every morning before I get up and start every practice.
Any of those goals you care to share with anybody for this year?
No, because if I share them with y'all, then
okay.
I feel like I'll be setting myself back. So I just want to show y'all at the end, maybe.
I'll tell you what, at the end of the year, when you've accomplished those goals, then we'll find out what they are.
Okay, man.
How about that?
That's cool.
All right. Jordan Favors joining us. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm good seeing you.
All right. Guy who had a tremendous year last season. We're going to stick on the defense. Speaking of amazing seasons, in his very first year with the Black and Gold, this guy really had a breakout. Nate Johnson, outside linebacker, dog position, 7.5 sacks, a freshman All-American. What are you going to do to follow that up this year?
No, I got to go for the All-American again.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You got what are your goals this year? We just got done talking to Jordan about some of his goals, and he said, he's trying to keep them a little bit under wraps, make sure that he can keep focused and achieve them. But what are you hoping to accomplish this year?
I always say dream big because, without a goal, you feel me? So I'm going to try to go. I'm going to get that All-American again.
Yeah.
And Sun Belt Championship.
Yeah. How have you? This is year 2 at the program.
Yes, sir.
You've gone through this summer workout program again with Coach Greenhall. How have you transformed yourself? Where have you gotten bigger, stronger, more muscle? Where have you transformed your body going into this year?
From last year to this year, gained about 20 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, yes, sir. My numbers in the weight room have went up. Man, I got faster, stronger. Yes, sir.
Faster, stronger. Did you surprise yourself at all last year with how quickly and immediately you were able to make an impact, or did you always believe that as soon as you got on that field, you were gonna have an impact on this team?
I say going into fall camp, I didn't know where I stood at going into fall camp, but after coming out of fall camp, I knew I was going to be able to play and I was going to be able to have an impact. So
yeah.
Yes,
everyone says the biggest adjustment when you come out of high school is the speed of the game.
Yeah.
How much did you notice, or how long did it take you to get used to the speed of the game?
I feel like at least 2 weeks, but
only 2 weeks.
Yeah, at least 2 weeks, because I made a transfer from DN to dog position.
Yeah.
So after that, I feel like after that position swap, everything fell into place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much different was that? Because you're an outside linebacker, but that dog position is a lot of times rushing the passer, playing off the edge. But what other responsibilities come with that position that you had to learn in a transition from defensive end?
I feel like both positions really gotta rush the passer, but the dog gotta drop a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I feel like just preparing in practice really helped me a lot to be able to, you feel me, drop in coverage.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What was the adjustment like in going up against Division I college level tackles and tight ends when you're trying to edge rush versus what you saw in high school? How much tougher was that? And did you have to do a lot more in terms of scouting and trying to find little weaknesses here and there? What did you have to do to be able to rush the passer effectively against college level athletes?
I feel like just the weight room. That's really a big important part. And just coming out here on your free time when you ain't got nothing to do, just coming to the field and getting a little extra work in. That it'll always show up. So I feel like putting the work in, it'll show up out there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
When you have that free time, because you guys work so hard, you're in the weight room, you're doing conditioning, especially during the summer, and you get a little bit of free time, and your choice is, well, I could relax, I could watch a show, play some video games, or I could go back in and get some extra work done. How tough is that to say, I really don't want to, but I know it's going to pay off?
Yeah.
How take us through that decision making?
I feel like in the game, first quarter, second quarter go smooth, but you're going to need the extra work in the third and fourth quarter. So that's how I think about it. Eventually you're going to need that extra work you put in, so why not go get it?
Yeah. As a defense, how do you feel like this defense can be better from a year ago?
I feel like working together, chasing the ball relentlessly, chasing the ball, working together, and stopping the run. That's really big.
Yeah. All right. You got any numbers in mind in terms of? You said you've got very lofty goals. You got any numbers in mind that you're trying to get to this year? Double-digit sacks or anything like that?
Hey, not specifically, but just at the end of the year, I'm trying to get that All-American.
All right, man.
Yes,
well,
sir.
We believe in you for sure. We can hear the confidence, and we love it. Nate Johnson, appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Good luck this year. All right, Nate Johnson joining us. A couple great defensive players, and Ethan Johnson, and then Jordan Favors, now Nate Johnson, and shift over to special teams. This guy had a huge impact on last season. Finally, someone who didn't change their number this year, at least not this year. Michael Hughes, our place kicker, all Sun Belt kicker from a year ago. How you doing, man?
Good.
How
was
was
your
summer?
Adam? It was great.
Yeah?
Great summer.
What were the
It's been
highlights?
Beautiful up here on the mountain.
You've been up here on the mountain. I know you've been going through the workouts and everything, but even when you got a little bit of breaks from those, were you up here the whole time?
Not so much on the weekends. I like to spend my time how I spend it. A lot of golf. It's kind of my getaway. But yeah, since I've been up here in the summer, it's been great. Beautiful up here.
Yeah. So how do you work on your tell us what a off-season conditioning program looks like for someone that plays your position. Are you doing all the same stuff? Are you working on different things because you need different things with your legs than the other guys need, things like that?
Yeah, so for me, I do everything that everybody else does in the weight room, but off the program that Coach Matt has going for us, I do a lot of extra stretching and rolling out, and I come out here and it's not the pitch and catch. It's more of what can I focus on today? What can I focus on tomorrow? Try to plan out my weeks, my training sessions throughout the summer, just trying to ramp up and peak right at this time going into fall camp.
How far are you kicking them now?
Comfortably.
Or uncomfortably, either. Let's do both.
Well, if it's a great day and a good wind behind me, I'm probably around 68, 70. But if we're at, if it's a comfortable day and I'm feeling good, probably 60, 65.
Yeah. Were you? Look, you hit some big kicks and your accuracy was incredible last year. Were you happy with the way last season went for you personally?
Absolutely. There's a few kicks that I definitely want back from early in the year, but I've learned from those, and I have very, very high expectations for myself this season. Not trying to let them weigh me down, just taking it one rep at a time.
Yeah. What do you mean by those expectations? Can you care to elaborate or share what your expectations are for this year?
Well, early in the season, you still have those pregame jitters and and you don't even feel them really. Especially at my position, you try to stay as calm as possible, but sometimes adrenaline, it just gets the best of you. So early in the season, missed field goal at UNC. Early first game of the year, missed field goal here, first one of the Rock. Those are two that I have focused on, particularly in the off season, trying to dial back and understand the intelligence of what I'm trying to do this season, and like I said before, just taking it one rep at a time.
Do you try to change your mentality going into a kick? Because I would imagine, I don't know how the nerves are going for you, depending on what the kick is and the stakes and the situation, but are there any mental exercises that you can do during the off season to better prepare you for when you are in that moment?
Absolutely, and that's something that me and our team psychologist, Dr. Cooper, have worked on a lot in the last 6 months, is just being able to block out all the noise and dial it in and understand and be where your feet are and meditate and just stay calm and present. And that's something that I take pride in is being where my feet are and taking it one rep at a time and focusing on where I'm at. It's not really a mental thing on, is this rep bigger than this one? Because every rep is the same, whether it be a kickoff, a onside kick, an extra point, a field goal. Doesn't matter if it's a game winner from 54 yards. It's the same kick every single time.
Yeah. I think I talked to you about this, but not on a microphone. What was it like kicking in that bowl game?
Oh, it was great. I loved
Great,
it.
really?
Yeah, no, I loved it. I like rain games. I like the weather.
That's a little more than your average rain game, though.
Well, yeah. We were in a hurricane, but no, seriously though, we do those things up here. We don't use the indoor very often.
We come out all the time. Yeah.
We do. Rain, snow, sleet, ice. 28 degrees, 78 in beautiful Boone, North Carolina. We're practicing outside. That's I give credit to Coach Clark because he understands those things. And as a freshman, you come in and you're like, oh man, what is this guy thinking? Why are we not in the indoor? But now that I've matured and I understand how he wants to take us to new heights, and we have high expectations for this season. You have to do those things. You have to grind it out, and being able to kick in those conditions in practice, it just makes it all that more easier in the game.
Yeah. Anything new that you're working into your routine or for fall camp, whether it's getting ready for a game, getting ready for a kick, anything new?
I have, experienced more, and I'm more experienced, I should say, in my, warm-up routine and how to prepare myself better, my body, my mind, and, full 9 yards to get ready for those expectations that I've set for myself. And that's something that I've worked on in the last 6 to 8 months, and being able to translate that to the field is something that I've taken pride in this off season, and I'm excited, man. I really am.
Where's your handicap right now?
Golf wise, 6.7.
Man,
I was 9.9 at the start of the summer, but 6.7.
You got it down almost 3 shots.
Yeah,
or more than 3 shots. Yeah. Wow.
I took pride in it this summer.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But this is it, I was playing golf this past week.
No more golf till next summer.
Nope, this is it. I told my buddy that I was playing with, I was like, that's my last round of the year.
Yeah.
And he was like, really? And I was like, this is it, man. Once I'm in season, once fall camp starts for me, I lock it down. I keep my body right. It's good.
Well, it's not going to be golf, but what is your favorite part of this time of year? Not games yet, but you're getting ready to start fall camp, and we'll go through the next 4 weeks and getting ready for that first game. What's your favorite part of this time of year?
Being outside and hanging with the guys.
Yeah.
Easy. Hanging out with the guys. We have our special teams meetings, and we have our 15, 20-minute position meeting, but outside of that, just getting to know the people around me and spending time with them, especially since it's my last year. It's been a little bittersweet, but I'm here to make the most of it. So
yeah. All right, man. Michael Hughes.
Thanks.
Good luck, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Look forward to seeing you out there. All right, well, he is locked in, that's for sure. So we got a little bit of taste of everything. We got some coaches, we got players, offense, defense, special teams, and that's going to put a wrap on our coverage here, our live coverage at least. But we've got plenty more to come over the next 4 weeks before we get you ready for kickoff against ETSU. You can, of course, listen to the replay of this, watch the replay of this. We have Coach Clark's press conferences with other key members of the team, as well as photos, videos, all sorts of content from Media Day, and then the team will get practice started tomorrow. You can stay up to date at appstatesports.com. We're on any of our social channels, App State Football, App State Sports, for tons of content and updates throughout fall camp as we get you ready for football 2024. Thanks for joining us for our annual Media Day show. My name's Adam Witten, and we'll talk to you here real soon.